Hi guys, just a quick one from me here. Some of you know, some of you don't, that I had an accident in the past where I suffered a head injury and I was in hospital for months on end, and long story short, I'm fully recovered now. I had many problems, I lost lots of weight. I now have an ongoing problem with my hormone, and that's testosterone, and it means I have to be on testosterone replacement therapy to keep my levels normal and stable and keep me healthy, most of all. And that's great, I really appreciate it, but that means some organisations, natural organisations, don't allow me to compete because I take testosterone replacement therapy gel, essentially. And I questioned this to a great show that I really enjoy, Natty Talk Radio. I'll put a link below where you can get a podcast to that, and they've also got a Facebook page. And basically, I asked the question what they thought I should do, what they thought my legitimacy for competing was, and I am going to post that along with after this in a second, so you'll be able to hear what they have to say.
One of the listeners, Stephen Hall, and he wants to know if you think it's fair that people on hormone replacement therapy it's fair that they can't compete in the OCB, NAMBF, or IFPA, which it's listed on the banned substance list. And is there a way that you could think that we can make this a little bit more fair? Because Stephen's story was that he had a head injury about 2 years ago, and he needed to be put on HRT for to get his normal levels of testosterone back up, and he's not able to come off of it. So he wants to compete in natural bodybuilding, but as far as the OCB, IFPA, he can't because it's part of the banned substance list.
Yeah, I mean that's do I think special privileges should be made for a guy like that? I mean, to me, absolutely, but it's easy for me to say because I'm not the president of the organization. I don't know what the fallout from that would be. I think if the guy could bring blood work in that showed that his testosterone was within normal ranges, and the HRT is just used for just that, and he's not trying to maximize it. I don't see what the problem would be, but again, I don't know why that they would actually ban that, except unfortunately, I think what had happened, I believe that's a fairly new rule. And,
it is, yeah.
Unfortunately, there was probably a couple people before his time that tried to use that and abuse the system.
Mm-hmm.
So, once it's one of those things, it's a guilty by committee. So once that happened and maybe Matt Shepley found out about it, he just said, all right, well, I guess nobody can, and that's a shame, if especially for a guy like that you just described to me. I mean, the fact that he can't compete and he has to go compete in the NPC is, that's a shame. But
and something that I think about when I hear the story is that people can be on like amphetamines, like Adderall and stuff, because their doctors prescribe it, and that's fine. And there's like that. I don't know, like everyone I know who's taken that, like it kills your appetite, increases your heart rate, increases like your NEAT for the day, you're moving more, and that is totally a performance enhancing drug. But you have to take it for, say your ADD. Well, okay, that's fine, and like you can compete as long as you show a doctor's prescription or a doctor's note. But there's still that carryover that it's a performance enhancing drug, and it will help you in some ways. So, and you could abuse it, and they wouldn't be able to tell. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, no question.
Like I think if it's in, if you get blood work done, like say within a certain date, like a week before the show or something, and you show that it's still within the normal range, I think that you should definitely be able to compete. And I guess Stephen, if you're listening, I would recommend, I guess, getting in contact with Matt Shepley. James, that's who we should call, right? Or email.
Yeah, I mean, he could also, if he wanted to, he could take it a step further and, maybe talk to his doctor and see if he could send over, the last 3 blood work, paperwork that he's had done and say, here's been my ranges for this past year. I mean, I'm not trying to get away with anything,
And they usually let you slide, though, because I just recently competed in a powerlifting meet, which they had a urinalysis, and I had to get my doctor's signature and everything, and I sent it in, sent my prescriptions in, and passed. I mean, it didn't show up or anything, because I was really concerned about that as well, since I'm on medication.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Steven, if you're listening, I think that would be your best bet. And, you know, if all three of us agree that you should be able to compete, and I think that, you know, Matt Shepley and whoever else, you know, the powers that be, I think they would agree with your case, so long as you have a doctor's note and everything. So I hope that helps out, man. You know, I hope the best for you in the future.
I mean, at least hopefully you can get, you know, a better reason why there is that rule that they made.
That definitely that too.
So I was really happy with their comments. It really motivated me to compete and try and compete and do my best and keep pushing harder, and also to now question my doctor, get my records, my past records of my levels. I'm seeing him quite soon, and I will question him on that and get those, and then I will make progress in contacting natural board organisations in the UK, not the US, because I am UK based. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that will go successful. I will have to see how that goes. I'm thinking it's going to take a long time. If not, I will see why and have to consider what my next steps are going to be.